everyone, welcome back to our channel Atma Occult. Today we will be discussing the upcoming solar eclipse in Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra, which is offering everyone the opportunity to manifest our desires by honoring the departed and calling on our ancestors for help.
Before we get into why this is the case and what else this solar eclipse might mean for you and the world, be sure to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And if you find our content helpful, consider making a donation to support our channel by following the link in the description below.
So we're going to look at the placement of the sun with the moon in Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra on Sunday, September 21st, 2025. And in order to find out more about what this eclipse might bring, we're going to look at the placement of all the other planets from the sun at this time. This will be a partial solar eclipse, which will start at 1:29 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time in the United States, and it will peak at 3:41 p.m. and end at 5:53 p.m.
This eclipse will only be visible from New Zealand, southeastern Australia, some Pacific Islands, and Antarctica. So the effects of this eclipse will be especially pronounced for these geographical areas. However, it is still considered an important transit for everyone, which can trigger karmic upheavals and set the astrological tone for the coming months.
So this eclipse is taking place in the sign of Virgo, which is an earth sign ruled by Mercury. And it represents the original sixth house of the primordial zodiac. The sign of Virgo is connected with themes related to conflicts, karmic debts, accounting, health, agriculture, and tropical storms. It also gives people a tendency to try to understand the truth through data analysis or debates. So very data driven for sure.
The lord of this sign, Mercury, is sitting with the sun and the moon during this eclipse. Mercury is exalted in the sign of Virgo, forming a Raj Yoga as the 10th lord in the first house. It is also forming a Buddhaditya Yoga, or intelligence-giving combination. However, it is slightly combust, hemmed between malefic planets, Mars and Ketu, and aspected by Saturn.
On the world stage, this can indicate a time when many heated debates break out with the goal of understanding the truth. And of course, everyone kind of has their own version of the truth, which hence the debates about it.
Yep.
But however, Saturn's aspect and the malefic hemming will add restriction or blockages to the free flowing of information, and it will make it difficult for genuine truths to come to light.
So in our own lives, this can signify a time for reconciling karmic debts. This eclipse is taking place in the nakshatra Uttara Phalguni, which is connected to contracts, marriages, and partnerships. It is ruled by the benevolent deity Aryaman, who represents benefactors and patronage from helpful people, as well as inheritance of ancestral wealth or help from departed ancestors. Mercury at this time is in Hasta Nakshatra, symbolized by a hand, and considered the star of manifestation, as it gives one the ability to reach out and grasp whatever it is that they desire.
This eclipse also takes place the day after something called Sarva, pitru, amavasya, which is considered the most powerful day of the year for connecting with ancestors and other departed souls, which we have karmic connections to. The solar eclipse happening directly after this day further intensifies the thinning of the veil between the worlds of the living and the dead.
So this is a time when the souls of many generations of ancestors including ones you may not even know of or remember, have come close to the earthly realm to check in on us and offer us their blessings if we are willing to acknowledge them. This will especially be the case if we are willing to conduct an audit. Remember, Virgo is
The accounting.
audits, accounting. If we're willing to conduct an audit of our own debts and obligations to others and try to honor or pay back those debts.
So we have Rahu in the 6th house in its own sign of Aquarius, aspected by the wise planets Jupiter and Venus. Further emphasis on the focus on reconciling debts, settling disputes, and overcoming obstacles. It confirms again the collective need within the masses to engage in debates to try to settle disputes over philosophical issues.
So Ketu's presence with Venus in the 12th house indicates a potential danger to women or female performing artists or female politicians. However, Ketu and Venus are in each other's nakshatras. So Ketu is in Purva Phalguni Nakshatra, ruled by Venus, and Venus is in Magha Nakshatra, ruled by Ketu. So they're in a nakshatra exchange, which adds strength to this combination. This can show an increased collective interest in spirituality as a way to escape from or alleviate some of the chaotic issues the world is currently facing. However, this can also manifest as an unhealthy way of escapism through substances or alcohol, drugs, and things like that.
Yeah, so don't do that. Since Venus represents relationships, Uttar Phalguni represents marriage, marriage contracts, and Saturn is in the 7th house of relationships. So this time is really not the best for romance. Relationships may actually feel overburdened by responsibility, and it might even feel like something we need to escape from. So this time is much more conducive for putting our attention on 6th house matters, like the fulfillment of karmic duties. We also see Mars is in the 2nd house of Libra, and this can show more of a potential for conflicts and harsh speech coming up in debates or attempts to seek diplomatic resolutions to conflicts. However, it is aspected by Jupiter from the 10th house, which does add some optimism to the situation, and it's the opportunity to maintain self-control. Mars is aspecting its own sign of Aries in the 8th house, and this can strengthen our ability to face our fears or undergo transformative experiences.
So overall, we can say that this eclipse is going to spark widespread debates on philosophical issues in the public sphere. There will be a collective search to try to understand the truth, and many will turn to spirituality to try to find solace from difficulties. This is also a dangerous time for women, female performing artists, and female politicians. These people should increase their security in the weeks surrounding the eclipse. However, even though this will be a potentially chaotic time, there will also be an underlying optimism, giving everyone a positive vision of the future. If we take advantage of the opportunity this eclipse offers to connect with our forefathers who want to help us, that will be the key to making our positive vision of the future a reality.
So there you have it. This was our interpretation of this upcoming solar eclipse in Uttar Phalguni Nakshatra and what it would mean for you as well as the rest of the world. Don't forget to leave us a like and a comment, and please subscribe to our channel. And let us know what you think about your experience with the solar eclipse coming up. Thanks for watching.